Hey, y'all, I'm back with another story time. I always want to tell y'all this story, so boom, let's get straight into it. So this happened last year when I was working at McDonald's. So y'all know I used to always, work in the drive-thru. Just get this, man, y'all, I used to love taking people orders. So like, of course I'm working in the drive-thru. So one day I was at the gas station. I had met this boy or whatever. We gonna call him G Station. Me and him exchanged numbers, blah, blah, blah. But I'm too busy working. I wasn't really on that, okay? Next thing y'all know, I want to say a week later, I'm at the drive-thru. Somebody come through the drive-thru. Why is it G Station? Now I'm confused because y'all, he like, I knew this where you work. So I'm like, hold on, because I never told him where I worked at. And the gas station that we met at was like 15 minutes from where I worked at. So I'm like, how did he know this? Anyways, y'all, I just, brushed that off. And, me and him continued to talk, but we never linked. Y'all, he used to always bring me food. And y'all know I love me some food. Everything going good. I want to say a month roll around, right? Now, this day, I was at the other drive-thru window, like, passing out the food. I wasn't the one taking orders. But my homeboy was taking orders, and I guess this lady had pulled up, and she was like, do somebody named Lily work here? Now, everybody knew me as Jalea, because that's my real name. Nobody knew my nickname Lily, because I never told people at work, So he was like, no. And he said she drove off. So I'm like, that's weird. So the next day, it was early in the morning. I'm about to get ready for work, and y'all, I get a message request off Instagram. Life apart too, because, child.
Can't leave without it. I keep it stick for the wall. Chase out deposit. Money just stick with the boy. A lot of model bitches check for me.
Since y'all like my first time in story times, I'm gonna tell y'all the first time I ever fucking dropped a tap. Cause bitch, it was a motherfucking night. So my friend fucking hit me up, alright? We're like, I wanna say 15, 16. And she just randomly messages me and she's just like, girl, let's hang out tonight. And let's do some LSD. And I'm like, I don't know why I didn't even fucking think twice of it. I was like, okay, bet, I'm down, bitch. Alright? I didn't even think like what the consequence could be. I didn't think anything. I was like, you know what, bitch, pull up, let's do this shit. She's just like, okay, you have to, I can't remember the price. It was like maybe like $30 or $40. Maybe cheaper. I don't remember. But as soon as she told me we was gonna do this shit, bitch, of course I brought out my motherfucking computer because I'm gonna search how to not have a bad trip. And that's exactly what I did. And it said to be around people that you trust, this, make sure your mind is open. Bitch, I was sitting there motherfucking meditating because I was not about to have a bad trip. I was scared because, bitch, I trip off weed. I was terrified, but I was not about to look like no motherfucking pussy. I was doing that shit. So obviously I got myself prepared. I got my, zenned out. I was making sure that my best friend was available that night because I knew that I needed her because she was my comfort, okay? Her name was Gloria. And so we go pick it up. We drop the fucking tabs. And I don't know how or what, we end up picking my best friend Gloria and we drive all the way to Albert Lee. And I'm not feeling it. It's about like, it's already been an hour and we're driving. I think we're driving to a park or something. And bitch, my friend is fucking moving her leg, Gloria. She's moving her leg and she's looking at me. And I didn't know I was tripping at this point. I didn't know what tripping was. I didn't know what the fuck I was supposed to do. But she's looking at me and bitch, tell me why this bitch looks evil as fuck. She was scaring me. And I was trying not to say anything. I'm like, bitch, you're about to trip out. Like, this is just, it's the tab stalking, bitch. It's not you, Ashley. It's not your friend. She's not evil. And she kept like shaking her leg and looking at me. And so I had them stop the fucking car because she was scaring the fuck out of me. And I kept asking her to stop shaking her leg, but I couldn't tell if she was still doing it on purpose or if she wasn't. Because she was like, I'm not shaking anymore. And I'm like, you're still fucking doing it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but she was tripping me the fuck out. So I got out of the car and I told him to call my mom. I was like, please call my mom. I need her right here. I need them to pump these drugs out of me right fucking now. Because, bitch, I felt like I was going to die. Bitch, I'm the worst person to do shit with because I'm a fucking trip. Like, I think I was tripping my friend out. She was just like, no, let's not call moms. Let's not get moms involved. You're okay. You're like, breathe in, breathe out. And then my friend got out of the car. She didn't want to get out because she knew she was tripping me out. And she calmed me down. She was just like, look, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to do anything. So when we sat in the car, she was like this the whole time. She didn't look at me. She stayed still until we got to the park. And then when we get to the park, that's when I realized that I actually, like, I was in it. Like, I was doing the thing. Like, I was really tripping the fuck out because it started raining. And I go by the lake and I see the drops. They, like, stop right before the water. And then I see the water, like, kind of, like, trickling and stuff like that. And I'm asking my friend, I'm like, do you see that? I felt like fucking waterbender, bitch. I felt so fucking cool. I was like, did you see that? And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm doing that with my head. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, you don't see the water just standing right in front? And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, the water droplets are staying right on top of the fucking water, bitch. You don't see that. And obviously, she didn't see what I saw, but me and her were fucking laughing so hard. Like, then it started getting good. Like, just that one moment, I was starting to get really scared in the car when I started feeling it. But the rest of the night was so fucking good that we ended up going back to my friend Gloria's house. Her sister came in the room. Her hair looked like a lion. Like, I remember looking in the fucking mirror and my eyes were, like, getting blood in them. I was scared. But then I stopped looking in the mirror because I was not about to have a bad trip. So I went back upstairs with Gloria, and me and her were fucking laughing the whole fucking night. Everything was morphing. Like, I swear, things were looking like squiggles. The walls were fucking dancing with me, bitch. I was tripping the fuck out. And then at one point, we ended up going to another friend's house. I don't know how the fuck she convinced me. I don't know how the fuck she convinced me to go anywhere without Gloria, but we went to another friend's house. And while we're driving, bitch, little frog, it's really dark, okay? I swear I thought we were getting lost because the road, we got tunnel vision. Like, she got it too, I got it bad. Everything was like, and it was going far. It was going, bitch. And then while we're driving, a bunch of fucking frogs come out to the freaking road. I was tripping the fuck out. Like, she wasn't seeing what I was seeing. But I was like, bitch, you don't see all those fucking frogs? Like, it was like hundreds of frogs coming on the road. And I was like, bitch, you're gonna hit them. But she wasn't hitting them. I was tripping the fuck out. But dude, that was fun. It was so fucking fun. Like, at some point, I just had to lay in the, like, it was so early in the morning already. It was like 6 and I had work at 10. And I was still fucking tripping out. Like, I don't know why I thought that I was gonna be okay by work, but I wasn't. Like, even when I went to work, I was still kind of like tripping a little bit, but I did go to sleep for an hour. Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun night.
I had got put in a psych ward for 2 weeks. I have been dreading this story time. That's why I have not made it yet. I don't want y'all to think I'm crazy, even though I am. Okay, so it's a regular schmegula day. I go to school. I have on these pants, and my principal pulled me into the office and says, basically, I have to change my pants because they did not fit the dress code. When I saw those high water ass pants, I broke the fuck down. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I was going through something or like it was just built up frustration that just set me off, and I was done after that. So I'm walking back to my class and I'm just thinking in my head, oh my God, they gonna clown my ass. Oh my God, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. Oh my God, y'all gotta think about it. When you're a child in that era, middle school era, everybody gets on your ass. Everybody has something to say. People make fun of everything. I was so sensitive back then, and that right there would have had me in shambles. So while I'm having this little breakdown, just like, I'm not going up in there. So I go up in the counselor's office and I'm sitting down there trying to calm my ass down with her. So while I'm sitting there talking to her, she ends up seeing, so she sees that and she said, oh, hell no. She basically said, red flag, warning, warning, warning. And her ass called the people on me. My little dumb ass thought I was about to have a week of vacation in a hospital bed, sipping on snacks. And they pull up in a whole ambulance, y'all. Strap me down to one of those gurneys and take my ass away. So when I first get there, and it feels like I'm in a jail, y'all. They made me strip down and cough. If y'all know what the fuck I mean, y'all know what the fuck I mean. I was so embarrassed. I'm just like sitting in front of this lady just coughing. Naked. Should have damn near locked me up then. I'm an inmate. So boom. A couple hours go past, my grandma and my mama get here. And they so worried about me, y'all. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, what the hell is going on? They crying. I'm just like, I'm thinking they about to come take me home. They like, no, you gotta stay in here. I'm like, ugh. Okay, first night, y'all. Probably second night too. I cried my ass off. I cried myself to sleep. I was not with it. I don't know. Maybe it was like the third, fourth day. I started making friends. And it started to get a little bit more easier then. So it was just daily routines now. After a couple days, it started becoming a little bit fun. I don't know. It was like, I was on an adventure. And since I was going to be up in there and I didn't know how long I was going to be up in there, I was like searching. I'm looking for the hoes. Yeah. It ain't my fault. And that's some crazy ass shit to do, to be looking up in a crazy house for somebody to talk to. Bitch, you're not that desperate. I'm going to do a part 2 because I feel like this is getting too long.
So when I was in high school, I was friends with this girl. For story's sake, we'll call her Hannah. So it was like near the end of our senior year. I had gone and driven to Hannah's house, and it was just me and her. We were just hanging out, whatevs. And she starts talking about how she wants to go to this party that these kids at our school were throwing. This location was called The Barn, and it was a literal barn that this kid would throw parties at, right? So I had never been to the fucking barn ever in my life. I never had fucking planned on going there, solely based on the fact, so the friend group that would throw parties at the barn, I didn't agree with their ideology. Frankly, I didn't even like any of them as people either. So I was like, fuck no, I'm not fucking taking my ass there. But she wanted to get her ass in there so bad just so she could talk to her ex-boyfriend that she has been on again, off again for how many goddamn years. And at this time, he was with a completely different bitch, you know? So in my head, I was like, there's so many things wrong with this situation and so many things that could go even worse. So me being me, just trying to please my friends, I was like, fine, we'll go, but I do not want to stay long at all. Like, just do what you need to do. Like, we need to be there like an hour max, maybe 30 minutes max. So I had hit up like 3 of my other friends to come with us because, like, again, like, I don't really know anyone at this fucking party, not really friends with any of them, don't like most of them. So yeah, they come with us, they pick us up, we arrive at the fucking barn, and the first thing we see is this kid fucking walks out of the barn and comes up to us and starts critiquing what my friends are wearing. Like, what the fuck is this? Are you a goddamn bouncer? And he's like talking to my friend, like, I don't like the shoes you got on. Like, bitch, get the fuck back where the fuck you were. Do you, like, ugh. And immediately I was like, oh my god, I literally want to go home. But we press forward. So then my other 3 friends start talking about how they want to leave after like 30 minutes, maybe an hour passes. They're like, they want to leave. People here are fucking weird. They're giving them a hard time. They don't like them. And they just want to go home. And I was like, bitch, fuck yeah, like, I want to fucking leave, you know? So I'm talking to Hannah, like, all of us are talking to Hannah. We're like, okay, like, I think that was enough. Like, we should go. Hannah didn't get a chance to talk to her boy yet, so she didn't want to leave, obviously. She started asking me, like, do you think we can just find another ride and you can stay with me and they can go? And I was like, me being people pleasing again, I was like, sure, like, we'll just find a different ride. And then I told my other 3 friends, like, okay, it's fine, you can go, and we'll figure it out, you know? Which I don't know why the fuck I did that, because we weren't friends with anyone there. No one was gonna fucking take us home. So the night very unfortunately goes on, and then she ends up talking to her boy, and I'm like, fucking finally, now we can almost be fucking done, you know? So, like, they leave me to go talk. I'm like, whatevs, private conversation, don't really care. But I'm by myself, so don't know anyone, by myself. So at this point, they were gone for a while, and I was like, fuck, I'm literally so over this. Like, how long is this gonna fucking take? And I had went to where they were talking. They were like in the back of the barn, fucking back of the barnyard. And I go up to them, I'm like, hey guys, like, what's going on? Can I join you guys? Because literally the whole entire time they were talking, I was like walking around this kid's fucking house, like literally a stranger's home. I'm just walking around, looking around, went in the barn, went inside their house, and I was like, wow, this is nice, you know? Hannah then tells me, she's like, the conversation's like really private. Like, can you like go somewhere else? And I was like, fine, because I have nowhere else to go anyways. So I did what I was told, trying to fucking like help my friend, and I just sit on this kid's fucking porch by myself, and I'm like, whatever, I'll just wait. And then this girl comes up to me, and she's fucking like stumbling all over the place, and I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? And she like grabs onto me and everything, and I'm like trying to help her up and everything, and I ask her if she's okay, and she's like telling me all the shit she was doing and everything like that. And I looked at her face, and I was like, oh my god, this girl, it looks so young. And I asked her, and I'm like, hey, how old are you, by the way? And she's like, oh, like I'm in 8th grade, like I'm 13. And I told her, I was like, bitch, we are literally seniors, like 17, 18-year-olds. And I was like, dude, I should have known. I should have never fucking come here. And I was telling the girl, I'm like, oh my god, what you need to do, you need to call your mother. You need to go home. I don't care how much trouble you're gonna get in. You cannot be here. And at that point, I was so fucking uncomfortable. So then I went back to Hannah, and I was like, please, can we like go? I'm so uncomfortable right now. Literally a fucking preteen came up to me just now. And she continues to like shoo me away because she's still talking. So I'm getting fucking irritated. So I walk into the house, like fucking storm into this person's fucking house, and I see a girl that I have like fucking art class with, you know, and I start talking to her. I'm like, hey girl, like, how you doing, blah 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 blah. And she's like, hey, like blah blah blah, like, oh my god, I didn't think you'd be here, you know, like, you know how bitches be, you know. So I'm talking to that girl, and then all her little cheerleader friends come over too and start talking to us because they were all going home together. And that's when I slip in. I'm like, hey guys, like, real talk, like, do you think I can catch a ride with you guys, because like my friend is still talking, I have nowhere to go, and like, I'm literally, like, just stranded here. And they're like, girl, of course you can come with us. So I'm like, thank God they were fucking there that night. So then I walk back to the porch, and, like, the fucking little girl is, like, on her phone and everything like that. She's like, my mom's gonna come pick me up. Okay, I sat there, and I waited for her mother to come get her, and I talked to her mother. I didn't even know the fucking girl's name. But I was like, I don't know why she's here, but people here are older, and these people are weird, and I'm trying to leave. She needs to go home. So her mom took her home, and then I went to go find Hannah again. I'm like, Hannah, I'm leaving, because fuck you, to be honest, for making me do this. Yeah, I'm obviously mad at her, and I just tell her I'm going. And then I leave with all these fucking, like, cheerleader girls. And I tell them to drop me off at Hannah's house, and I get there. And right when I get there, it's fucking 3 a.m. at this point. Hannah then calls me, and she's like, can you please pick me up? And I told her I was irritated, and I was like, dude, I've been wanting to leave for literally hours, because we got there at, what, maybe 10 o'clock? It's 3 a.m. Before I left, too, I literally asked her, I'm like, is it okay if I go? Like, even though I'm fucking angry, I'm like, is that okay, though? You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. She didn't figure it out, so she just asked me. So she made me drive fucking, like, 20 minutes back, because she was mad at me and everything, and I can't deal with people being mad at me before. So I got her, I dropped her off at her house, and I fucking took my ass home, finally. Moral of the story is, it's okay to have boundaries, and you should be able to say no. And that if you are friends with someone who is constantly pressing you for their own benefit and doing things only for their benefit, yeah, stop being friends with them, girl.
Back in 2022, I think, I had allowed my baby daddy to come stay with me. So, hold on, y'all gotta work with me now. Okay, when he was staying with me, I guess one night he went out, he came back, he was like, his phone dropped off the car, and he couldn't find it. And he was like mad and shit like that. I'm like, just chill, like, you can hold my son's phone so you can get you another phone. So I ended up letting him hold my son's phone or whatnot. And I ain't gonna lie, the same night that he had got the phone logged in, this and that, I had already had it in my head that I was gonna go through it, like, because I'm nosy. So I waited till he went to sleep, got the phone, and I was going through it. But I know my homegirl, like, she's real good when it comes down to going through it in the phone. So I'm like, girl, I got the phone, pull up. She don't pull it up, we going through it, this and that. So I had unseen him, he texted a gay guy, but the message, it was unsent. So it was an unsent message to the gay guy, and it was the gay guy sending like the eyes emoji. And that's all I seen, that was it. So then he had 2 different like gay men blocked. So I seen that, and I went back to the house, and I woke him up, and I'm like, you gay, like, you're gay. So he waking up looking confused, like, what are you talking about? I said, I went through the phone, and why did you text in the phone? Like, and why do you have all these points locked? He was like, man, like, he got so mad, y'all. He was like, talking real loud. He was like, man, these punks, if a punk trying to add me or follow me this and that, of course I'm gonna block them. Da, 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 da. Lies, y'all. That was red flag right there. I should have walked away right then and there or whatever. So he going back and forth, me and him going back and forth, and me being naive, y'all, I still let him stay with me or whatever. Okay, so I think this was like June 2022 or whatever. So let's fast forward to July. July come around. Like, I was just so fed up with him because he wasn't helping me. He was eating all the groceries, wasn't providing nothing, like doing nothing for my son. Always gone. So I was just like over it at this point. So I was waiting for him to come home or whatever. Like 3 came around, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to sleep. I just sent him a text or whatever. So I sent him a text, like basically giving him a rundown, like, you need to step up. Like, you don't have to either help me or you don't either have to leave. So after that, I went to sleep. I woke up, he was on the couch, and yeah, I went to go run my errands, came back, he was still asleep. So I ended up having to leave again. So I left again, came back, he was up and moving. So I'm looking at him, I'm like, you got my text? Like that. So he was like, yeah, I got it. So I'm like, what you gonna do? He's talking about, I'm gonna leave. Girl, y'all, why you say that? Because that just pissed me off, because bitch, you been staying with me, and bitch, you ain't help me with nothing. Then when I'm like, yeah, you gonna rather leave than help? So that just pissed me off. So I'm like, bitch, leave. Like, you have to leave now. Like, yeah, you have to leave now. So he was like, you wanna help me? You start putting stuff on the porch. So I done started putting stuff on the porch. So I'm like, and my son's phone, I need it. So he went to tell me, like, you ain't getting shit, bitch, blah, blah, blah. I ain't getting nothing. So he went downstairs, so I'm thinking he leaving, because he walking down the car. I was like, come get this shit, don't leave this shit on the porch. So he come back with a pack. And you know, I don't want TikTok being this video. But he put the pack on the deep freezer. So I grab it because it's like, you're not trying to give me my son's phone, you're not gonna get this. I grab it, put it up. So after that, he like, I think he had done, I locked him out after that, I think. So he was just knocking, like telling me that he needed his pack. So I don't know, I just felt like he was about to, I stayed upstairs at the time or whatever. So I just knew he was gonna, I don't know, but I kind of felt it when he started knocking that he was gonna do something crazy, but I just didn't know what he was gonna do. So y'all, remind y'all, stay upstairs, I have a balcony, and when I tell y'all it's no light poles, no light nothing he can like grab on to get on top of the balcony, so I'm not thinking that he's gonna jump on top of the balcony. Next thing you know, y'all, I hear thump. So I already knew he had jumped on top of the balcony. Then I forgot to lock the door, y'all. So I ran into my room and locked the door. So at this point, from my room, you could talk to somebody through like the balcony, like if I open the window. So I open the window, I'm like, all you gotta do is give me my son's phone and I'll give you the pet. So he said, nah, bitch, you ain't get shit, give me my motherfucking stuff, da 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 da. So like at this point we going back and forth for like some minutes now. Like I'm tired of arguing. So I done got some scissors. So I'm like, I'm about to pour this shit out if you don't give me my son's phone. So we ended up trading like through the window. I gave him his pad, he gave me my son's phone. Why did he do that? I don't know if he thought that I didn't know the pin code, but over the time that he had the phone, I always watched him put the pin in. So I guess he thought I couldn't get into it, y'all. So okay, so y'all, now that he done got his pad, so I'm at the like the screen though. I don't like the talking shit. I'm like, bitch, you could jump down from the balcony because you're not gonna come through my house. You could jump down, so you know, just talking shit like that. So, you know, I had went in the room, laid down. He eventually jumped down from the balcony. So he get to beating at my door, beating at door. He's like, bitch, I need some trash bags. I'm gonna keep knocking, da da da. So I just didn't want him to be over there with all that, like making all that noise. So I put him some trash bags out the door, and he bagging this shit up or whatever. So I had to leave to go get my mom from work around this when all this was going on. So I had to eventually leave out the house. So remind y'all, my kids were, I think they was in their room watching TV. So we had to walk outside. So I walked outside, and I don't know what triggered this animal, but he just went to going crazy. Like then went to like breaking like the porch light, or like just doing crazy shit. So I just walked right past him or whatever, cause bitch, you doing too much. So after that, and around this time, before I left, I put the phone up because I didn't want to walk out and try to grab it from me. So I had the phone up in the house. So fast forward, I got back home, and his stuff was off the porch. So someone just told me to look out my window. I look out my window, he got like his clothes and stuff like stashed downstairs or whatever. So after that, I'm going through the phone or whatever, and I see messages of this same punk that he had blocked. Remember I told y'all in the beginning he had this punk blocked on Instagram and but he had a different page. This is a page that I wasn't logged into. Remember I told y'all the whole time he was there, I had his information or whatever, but it was another account. So I seen messages between him and the gay boy. So I'm like, hold on, y'all. Well, time about to run out. If y'all want a part 2, just comment and let me know y'all want a part 2, and I'll let y'all know what I seen in the messages. And yeah.
Story time about how I thought I found the love of my life, and he played me like a fool.
Had me sitting here. So y'all, found the man. I thought he was the one. We good. We, everything's going straight. I'm thinking it's the one, y'all. I'm thinking, yes, I can post you. I'm good. I never have to worry about nobody saying nothing. The opposite. The opposite. Y'all, my man work. He works like nights. He's a hardworking man. He's like, yeah, princess, whatever you want, I got it. Yeah. I get large. Yes, y'all, he was that type of man. Like, he wants something you got. I thought I hit the score. The great Amazon package that came in an hour. I thought that's what I had. Y'all, he sleep. Right? He sleep. So I'm texting his phone, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, babe, like, you up. He sleep. That's what I came to realize. He sleep. So y'all post on my Instagram or whatever. I'm like, y'all, like, looking good, bored, my man sleep. He sees it. Are you ready? Did I say something? Did I not answer your call? Did you find out about something? What did I do? Y'all, he looks again. So now I'm like low-key confused. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Right? So now I go to my close friends. So I only put him in it. So I type or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, babe, like, why you just watching my story not responding? He watches it again. Don't say nothing though. So then I add his name and I say, babe, what's going on with you? Why not answer my phone call? Why did somebody text me and say, are you dating him? Duh, stupid. If I just said, babe, I'm not answering the phone and I just added this man, why would you Are you dumb? So I'm like, what you talking about? Like, I'm laughing now. Like, you playing the prank. You playing. Where the cameras at? Y'all, she's texting me like, yeah, how long you been dating? What do? Am I in an interrogation room? What are you talking about? How long I've been dating? Why is it who? Let me see who's behind this screen. Because now you have me furious. I'm finna get mad. I'm 1,000 miles away. I'm finna get upset. Don't make me go on Spirit and tell him to get the soul plane and drive. Yeah. Y'all, she's like, I'm not playing. I can see you in the pictures. Here go my number. Oh, you one of them. If somebody tell you drop the addy, you drop the addy fast. But don't do that to me. Because what are you talking about? Y'all, why do I text this lady? She's showing me pictures, videos, messages. Why when this man tell me good morning, he's telling her good morning, queen? It's your queen? Why is this nigga saying, oh yeah, I'm getting off work right now, baby, I'm gonna call you. He telling me the same thing. You got a double life? This is a Tyler Perry movie. Tyler! Give me my rounds. Because what? Are you serious? Y'all, still to this day, I want to murder that man. But you know what? It's cool. I used to be down, but now I'm like, okay, yeah, because now we're good. But you know what? I wish both of them nothing but the best. Don't fall in love, y'all, because it's for the birds.
Story time on how I lost my virginity at 14. I should have used the word V card. I feel like I've already become an overshare with my life, and at this point, fuck it. I want to tell this before continuing my X series, because my last X series story time, you guys were wondering about how I was talking about how I was like 15, 16 and like taking off and putting back on my clothes. Let's just get the explanation now. Okay, so if you guys been following my X series, it started when my ex had moved from my high school, and like after we started talking again and he didn't go to my high school anymore, I didn't know how I was gonna see him. So I had the bright idea to start sneaking out with him. Bitch, I don't know how. The first time I snuck out with this man, we weren't even comfortable with each other like that. If you guys were keeping up with the series, the way I explained he was in the beginning, it felt really genuine. I was comfortable in the sense that I felt like he was serious about me, but not comfortable in the way that we had like not really spent much time together before. The first time we snuck out, I had my first kiss with him, and then we snuck out a couple other times after that. Girl, we weren't even like official yet, but in my head, and I think that he thought the same thing, we knew it was like exclusive, or that's how I saw it. At this point, like I was sure, the way that we were talking, the way he was towards me, I was sure I did like him and I wanted him to be my first boyfriend. I think we had been sneaking out a couple times and we were good, like it was like we knew we were like together. Well, again, at least that's how I felt. I really like this relationship left me so traumatized to the point that like I really don't know the way he saw it the whole time, like all along. One day we were like texting and he was flirting with me, and I really did not know how to flirt. Like I just kind of like tried to go along with it, because I had never flirted with anyone in my life before. Girl, I forgot, like I don't know exactly what he said, but I remember a text where he said, oh, we'll see about that when we see each other. And then I was like, girl, when he texted me, oh, we'll see about that when we see each other, I was like, wait, what do you mean? I was like, wait, I'm fucked? I was like, wait, what is he talking about? Like, wait, like, what does he think that I mean? Like, this is what I mean by I was like young, innocent, and naive. Like, I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I really didn't. Like, this was my first boyfriend. I didn't know. So then, like, I was shooting bricks the whole time that we're gonna sneak out to see each other. I was like, wait, what do you mean? I was like, wait. Later on, when we had like years of dating already, I didn't even tell him none of this. Like, I never told him none of this. So then the day comes when we're gonna sneak out, and I'm like, wait, bitch, like, you can't back out of this now. Like, we're over here talking all of this stuff through freaking text. You can't back out now. When I tell you I barely even knew the meaning of sex, like, I barely knew that fucking meaning. So I was shooting bricks. I really hope you guys don't see me differently after the story time, because this was me like back then. I don't even want to tell you guys the location, because obviously we were sneaking out. I was 14, he was 15. Like, bitch, where the fuck were we gonna go? Like, I don't even want to tell you guys the location, but you could only imagine it was some hood rat shit. First time was an attempt. This time that I was really fucking freaking out, because I didn't know that he meant that when he was like texting me this flirty shit. Like, I didn't know he meant that. It was 2 times, okay? This setting was even like worse than the second time. I kid you not, the only thing, I said this before in my YouTube Q&A video, the only thing that was going through my head was what the fuck my mom and my grandma would think about me. Like, literally about to do that and get into it. That's what was going through my head. Like, I was 14. I didn't get turned on like that. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. Like, it was that type type of thing, and I didn't realize what I was doing. I just knew I was scared as shit of what my mom and my grandma would think about me. You know how people get scared of the pain? But that was like the last thing in my head. I was worried about what my grandma and my mom were gonna think about me if they saw me in that moment, in that setting, in that location with that person. Oh my god. I'm gonna be a little TMI with you guys and tell you guys why it didn't happen that first time. It was because like I was literally like I had never done that before, and he couldn't make it happen. I actually do want to say this so that girls that are 14 years old aren't as naive as I was. I don't know if it was just a me thing, but like please don't be as naive as I was. Seriously felt like I couldn't say no anymore because like that was the person that I was like with, and I kind of like just trusted it in a way. I just felt like I couldn't say no. That night we did go home without any of that activity going on, which like in the moment I was like, damn bitch, like what the fuck were you about to do? Next time we snuck out, it actually did happen. I was 14. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I barely knew about protection. I didn't even get turned on like that in that point. That whole experience wasn't even pleasurable. It wasn't even the way you would think that your first experience is gonna be like. And that's kind of also why I wanted to tell this story, so that people don't go and do stupid shit like what I did, because you don't want your first time to be like that. So you don't want it to be in a ghetto setting. You don't want the only thing that you're thinking about in the moment is what your mom and your grandma would think about you if they saw you in that activity, girl, because that just means you're not ready for it. And I definitely was not ready for it. I just didn't know how to say no because I was so naive, and so like I thought that I had to, because I felt like this guy was good for me because of the way that we trauma bonded and the little things that he would do for me. I didn't know how to tell him that I wasn't ready. And I also, after that, years into dating, I also never told him how I didn't feel any type of pleasure. I never admitted that to him because I just didn't want to burst his bubble. But that's really how I felt in the moment. I look back at it and I just think about the way I was so naive, and like things could have been so different for me. My feelings for him were always like very genuine though, so I will give it that. Like at least I didn't do it with someone who I didn't even like that or give a fuck about. I think things happen for a reason, and everything I went through with him taught me a lesson that a lot of the things that I went through with him are the reason why I am how I am now and who I am now. And let's not say because after that first time I did become a freakiness, that one, let's really not. Anyways, I hope that other than entertaining you guys, somebody out there took this as a lesson, because I still be looking back at this and be thinking, Miriam, what the hell were you on? I was really just a young teenage naive girl who was going through personal shit, and I felt like this guy really understood me. I felt like he was really there for me. I felt like he was like everything that I ever thought I wouldn't have. Anyway, stay tuned for me to continue this X series.
Okay, so I wanted to give y'all a quick story time about how I almost got trafficked with my best friend. Well, literally like set up in traffic. This is why you should trust who you hang around and watch your surroundings at all times. I was dancing in this little hole in the wall in New Orleans, and I had met this girl at the strip club my first night. She was telling me how she was best friends with my best friend, but I had never heard of this girl a day in my damn life. So when I asked my friend, at the time dance partner as well, I was like, hey, do you know this chick? She claims that she knows you. And she was like, yeah, she's cool, you know. She's been dancing here a long time. We consider her like an OG. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm already getting in with the OGs. And if you know, like, when it comes to dancing. Especially, you know, I was literally a baby dancer, like 19. I'm 27 now. So she invited me to brunch the next day. Mind you, I didn't stay in New Orleans. I stayed in Mississippi. And I didn't have a car at the time. Like I said, I was, like, freshly out of high school. Then she pulls up in this Mercedes, and she takes me that she's outside. So y'all, I get in the car, and she was already being a little awkward. Like, she was cool for the takeoff, but y'all, once we got on the interstate, craziest shit I had ever heard in my life. One of the questions was like, how would your family feel if you never came back? Like, if they never seen you again? Like, girl, who asks that, first of all? But anyway, I kept going with it. So I'm listening, I'm just telling her stuff. I'm telling her, like, why I started dancing, you know, what's my goal dancing, because at the time, I was really into, like, just the pole work. I didn't care too much about shaking ass and shit. And she was real fit, y'all. Like, this, I don't know. So also I started to notice on the ride, you know, to New Orleans, I would ask to go to like fast food and stuff. She didn't eat fast food. Like I said, she was real fit, and she had a very strict diet. She's ordering like I think like a parfait or something from McDonald's. I was ordering like all type of stuff, you know. Wasn't the mission to go get brunch? Okay. So I'm texting my friend. She has my location. I'm texting her, you know, every time that we, you know, make a little stop or whatever, just to let her know like everything's okay. Like I'm with such and such. You know, she real cool so far. So mind you, while I'm making these phone calls, the girl is also making phone calls, but it's like a man's voice I'm hearing. I mean, every time we stop, y'all, we could literally like, and I brought my little chihuahua too at the time with me as an emotional support and body care at all. I bring my dog everywhere. She would stop and like call this man every single time we would stop or pull over. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I told my friend, I'm like, girl, does she have a boyfriend? Like I'm texting her like, hey, you know she got a boyfriend or something? Because every time we make a stop, she's calling this man, telling him where we at. My friend was taking too long to respond after I asked her if, you know, if there was like a man involved or whatever. Did she have a man? Okay, we get to the girl's house. Y'all tell me why we walk in and her lights are out. Her lights are out. So I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, what are we gonna do if the lights out? You know, so guess what she calls? This man. So she's like, hey, like the lights are out. Like, what are we supposed to do? I'm supposed to be getting ready for brunch, but the lights are out. Like, it's like as if the lights are out was like a fucking key word or something. Then we go to this motel type of place. Mind you, I keep telling y'all this is like 2015, 16 at the time. So yeah, hotels, it really didn't matter. So we check into this motel, and girl, when that motherfucker got on that phone that last time to tell that man where we was at, I lost it. Because why do you keep calling him and telling him where we at? Why does he need to know every little move? Like, it's not making sense. So we get a knock on the door. It's the man. It's the man. He's like, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. Shorty walks out the door. Soon as he says, hey, let me talk to you for a minute, Shorty walks out the door. So at this point, I'm just looking at like, you know, like, yo, what's good? And he was like, hey, such, and you're gonna need my number from now on. So I'm like, all right. I start putting it, I'm going along with it. I'm like, all right, what's your number? I put the number in my phone and I'm like, what do I need to save it as? Like, what's your name? This man says save my number in your phone as King. So at that point, I literally lost it. I lost it. I already knew what was going on. I had, at this point, acted like I needed to go to the restroom after I got his number, you know, and told him it was nice to meet him. Was waiting on the girl to come back. When I came out the bathroom, she still wasn't there. It was still the nigga. Even taking a next breath without asking what the is going on. So he begins to ask me, how do I know my best friend? Like, you know, no, how do you know my best friend? Like, oh, she's been one of my girls for a minute. One of my girls? Like, what the fuck do you mean? One of my girls. She's been one of my girls for a minute now. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? I was literally shaking in my motherfucking pants at this point. Get a knock on the door. Do y'all wanna know what it is? Guess. Who's my best friend?
I remember the fucking first time I ever smoked, okay? I was like in 7th or 8th grade. So that made me like, what, 13 or 14 years old? And I was with this old ass chick. She was definitely out of high school already. Why she was hanging out with me, I don't know, but I was cool as fuck, bitch. That's why. Well, anyway, she tells me like, hey, after school, I'm gonna pick you up. You can come to my house and she's like, let's smoke. Me, my 13-year-old son, never smoked before. I'm like, all right, bet. Like, and she's like, have you done this before? I'm like, yeah, all the time. She's like, you do? And I'm like, yeah. Like, you'll see when I'll come to your house. Like, I was like, I even got like one of those pieces that you smoke out of. And she was like, oh, okay, bring it. Bitch, I didn't have shit. Why the fuck I said that? So I was watching all these fucking videos on, you know, how to smoke, you know, what to smoke out of. And I saw that there was a Starburst pipe. So I told her like, hey bro, like don't pick me up after school. I have to go home real quick and like clean my room. And she's like, okay. She's like, I'll pick you when you're done. I'll pick you up when you're done. I'm like, okay. And so I go home, I go buy Starburst, I go drink up a can of pop, and I grab one of my dad's syringes, like, cause he was always sick at that time, so he had a bunch of little like those little things, whatever the fuck it is. And so I took the syringe, I just like popped it out. I was like, oh, I think we can use that to smoke out of. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I made a can pipe and a Starburst pipe. And when I pulled up with them, bitch, she was like, bitch, what the fuck is this? I was like, this is what I smoke out of. She's like, did you just make this shit or what? I'm like, no, I've smoked out of it. She's just like, bitch, you don't gotta lie. Because I didn't know about any of that shit. Like, I didn't know she could tell that I hadn't used it or not. Fucking bitch. Call me out. She's like, none of this shit even looks used. And she's like, she grabbed the syringe and she's like, what the fuck? She's like, we're smoking. We're not doing. And I was like, okay. Like, you're not about to embarrass me, bitch. But anyway, we get to smoking, bitch. After she fucking sat there and embarrassed me, we got to smoking. And bitch, when I tell you, I was holding in my cough. I was like, I was fucking dying. I was dying. And I had never gotten high before, so I didn't know what that felt. I was already really scared. And I think that just made matters worse for me. So at some point, I'm high as fuck, bitch. Higher than the moon, higher than the motherfucking sky, higher than the motherfucking the sun. Whatever the fuck is high up there, I was higher than that, bitch, okay? I was gone. And I remember her man comes home. Wait, hold up. While we were smoking, I looked up a playlist for, like, smoking. You know that song that goes, I get so high, fuck around and never come down. That when I played that shit and I felt so fucking cool. Because she was jamming. She was like, what is my jamming? I was like, you said I don't smoke. But whatever. But I remember that shit. But her man came. Girl, they got into a fucking argument. And I was so high, I didn't even know what to do. And she was supposed to drop me off, like, at home. And I don't know why, time just felt so fucking slow. And I was, like, looking at my phone. And I was seeing that, like, only, like, a minute passed. But it felt like I was sitting there for, like, 10. So I was starting to get scared. I was like, oh my god, she's not gonna be able to take me home. Like, they're taking forever. She's not gonna take me home. But really, she was only in the room for, like, 2 minutes. I just don't know why I felt like that. So I started walking home, right? And she gave me, like, a little bag of weed, and I dropped it somewhere. Like, I just left it there, bitch, because I was scared. I was like, if I go home and my mom, like, pats me down, she's gonna find this, and she's gonna fucking beat my ass or something. And so I walked all the way home, but that walk felt so fucking far. And as soon as I get to the house, my mom's just like, where have you been all night? I'm like, I'm my friends. Like, I'm just like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what? And then I fucking fell over the stairs. And she's like, are you on something? I'm like, no, just leave me alone. I fucking ran upstairs and I locked my door. And she was like, Ashley, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing. Just leave me alone. I'm like, me and my friend had a fight. Bitch, I was like, fuck, I didn't even know what to do. Like, I was literally sitting in my room and I felt like I was tripping out. No, I'm not made for this lifestyle.
Hey y'all, so this is the story time of how I got cheated on right in front of my face. Excuse the noise, I'm in the airport right now waiting to go home. But let's jump right into the story. So as y'all know, my ex had a party for his friend at an Airbnb. So the Airbnb was way in Orlando and I live like almost 2 hours away from Orlando. So I go to the party or whatever. I get there and it was all cool. Like I had already got my own bottle, so I'm just sitting off to the side, like not talking to nobody and letting my men have fun, right? So they got strippers there and everybody turning up and I'm just sitting off to the side, you know, minding my business, being cute and classy. So the whole night, like, all these dudes kept walking up to me, like, trying to talk to me. So that was already a red flag. Cause I'm like, if my man said I'm coming, why are people who at the party trying to talk to me? Because you should tell people that I'm off limits, right? So, long story short, every time he seeing a boy talking to me, he'll come up in my face and be like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, you tripping. Like, I'm just sitting over here, right? So by the time we get to the end of the night, everybody leaving, whatever. So it's time for all of us to go into the room. Mind y'all, I didn't notice at first, but the strippers were staying at the Airbnb where everybody else was staying. So while I'm walking to the room, all the strippers are already looking at me crazy, like I ain't supposed to be there. So I finally get in the room and I sent him to the car to get my bag so I could take a shower and stuff. And then I lay down because I'm kind of tipsy and I was off that Casamigo. So I lay down and I just so happened to doze off. And next thing I know, I wake up, it's like 20 minutes later and this man's still not back. So at this point, I'm mad. I started calling his phone, blowing him up. I'm like, bring me my keys right now so I can go home. Like, I'm over this. I'm ready to go. Y'all tell me why I called this man 20 times and he did not pick up the phone, not one time. So I started searching all over the house for him. I'm like, telling his friends, I'm like, have you seen him? Have you seen him? They like, no, we haven't. Finally, I asked one of his other homeboys. Obviously, this homeboy didn't like him because he told me what he was at. He was like, oh, yeah, he went in a room with some girl. And I said, he did what? He was like, yeah, he in that room right there. So I go to the room and I started banging on the door. Mind y'all, it's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So everybody was laying down. I don't care. I woke up the whole entire house. So I'm banging on the door for a good 3 minutes and nobody opened the door yet. So finally the door opened and it's the stripper who been in his face the whole entire night. So she opened the door and I go in the room and he coming out the bathroom with a freaking butt plug in his hand. Y'all, as soon as I seen that butt plug, I launched on him.
Okay, y'all, I'm finna go to lunch with my kid's stepmama. You know, I ain't trying to, you feel me? I ain't trying to like shit on her a little bit. I just, you know, got to let you know, bitch, I'm cute now, you feel me? But we're finna go to lunch and talk like ladies. I'm so excited. Okay, y'all, be transparent. I like Ashley. I really do. I like her because I asked her, I said, do you love Jordan? She said, yes. I said, do you love my kids? She said, yes. I said, okay. I'm giving you full custody. I'm saying, I'm gonna step back. Y'all, never mind the tears, bro. This is some real shit. Before we got up from the table, I told her, I'm looking her in her eyes. I said, listen, I like you. And I feel like you're a genuine person and I'm happy as you. I'm not gonna act like it don't hurt. It hurt to know that my kids got a stepmama now. But I'm happy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can still feel away. I'm told y'all. Because we was married, y'all. This shit don't go away. It don't just go away overnight. I'm not gonna act like it don't hurt. To know that you playing mommy to my kids when I'm not there. But I'm happy as you. And I hope it's genuine. I hope you really do love my kids because I like you. And I'm giving you my blessing. So yeah, y'all, I'm a little tore up, but it ain't like on some heartbroken shit where I'm tore up about him moving on. That's not the case. I'm just tore up that I did not know that my kids was, you know what I'm saying, being nurtured by somebody else. Them feelings are valid. I did not know that.
Remember how I be telling y'all, if you hear somebody knocking on your door or you hear somebody's voice but no one is home, never open the door? Scary story time. And this story, this time, is actually not my dad's story, it's my friend's story. She's also Haitian and she wanted to share her story with you guys. So when her family was supposed to come to this country, coming from Haiti, they kept it a secret. And this is actually a common thing because even with me too, when I was coming, it was an absolute secret. Nobody knew but me, my dad, and my grandma, and my uncle. And my uncle was a pastor. Well, is a pastor. But the reason for that is people are jealous and people will do anything to stop you from where you need to be. When they see you prospering and it's not them, I've seen it happen so many times in Haiti. Anyway, so that was the case for her and her family. At the time, it was her and her brother. And when I tell y'all, it was an absolute secret. Nobody knew they were coming to America but the people living in their house. It was literally top secret, which is why it was shocking to her mom when she got a phone call from a church member. Mind y'all, they weren't even that close. Like, that church member, it's not like they were like best friends. It was just somebody they went to church with, and she actually lived very far too. Now, there was this lady that they knew, that everybody knew was a lugao, but it wasn't their business, you feel me? Like, that's the lady's problem. That's her. She do her. Anyway, so the mom gets a phone call from the church member, and the church member tells her mom, I had a dream, and I know that you guys are leaving, you guys are going to America, but so-and-so, the lady that's a lugao, does not like that, and she has something planned for y'all, so that it does not happen. Mind y'all, they don't even know how the lugao lady found out that they're leaving, but I mean, you know, lugao. The church member tells her from her dream that she was told to tell her mom these instructions. First one is, of course, make sure that nobody else finds out. The second one was there was this uniform they used to wear to church for Saturday services. She tells them to keep that uniform and all of their clothes that they're going to wear until the day that they leave, and make sure that nobody touches those clothes. And the last thing that she told her to do was that the car that was supposed to transport them to the airport, change it. Absolutely change it. So they did all of that. They prayed, they followed directions and stuff like that, and everything worked out well. They got here thinking it was over, but whoo, was it far from over.
Rise and shine. Let me tell y'all why y'all need to be mindful of who the fuck you bring to your spot, and if these clients are new or old, because these bitches is weird as fuck. So boom, story time. Why the fuck I was just gonna have to rough one of my clients up? Because this hoe tried it. Bitch, it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning and she tried it. First thing first, attitude was real nasty, bitch. You don't know me, I don't know you. So when you come, you need to come all the way to fuck correct, or bitch, I'm gonna get you in line. Now moving forward, the bitch hit me up yesterday about getting some small knowledge around probably like 3 or 4 o'clock. Now bitch, it's later on in the day. You think I'm finna do it? Then she wanted these motherfuckers to her knees. Bitch, you think I'm finna do you some small knowledge to your knees same day? You're not trying to pay same day appointment. No, ma'am, you can wait till in the morning. So this what brings us to this morning. Mind you, I didn't charge the bitch a deposit because I really don't even give a fuck about the hair shit at this point, and I don't be so sure about these hoes, so I don't want your little deposit, boo. If you gonna come, I need my shit in full. Fuck is you talking about? Anyways, and my hair gonna stay dead. Fuck is you talking about? It's gonna get dead in a few minutes as soon as I'm done. Anyways, when she get here, y'all, she low-key rude. She jumped on the phone. I ain't tripping on nobody except when they phone calls or whatever, right? But she on the line telling the people, oh yeah, because usually the Africans, the only people I let do my hair, I don't really be trusting other people in my head, so this a first for me, Bitch, y'all, that right there was doing it. So I said, if you booking before you looking, then that's a red flag. What's your point? Because, bitch, my hair be A1 always, bitch, and anybody here I do loves it. So she like, I'm just saying, girl, I'm just saying. So, like I say, that right there, bitch, I spared you last night. You ain't have to pay no deposit, but at the same time, you ain't even trying to pay your same day fee from yesterday, so that's what brings us to this morning. Then you coming over here, bitch, the African shop right around the corner, go, goodbye. Y'all, on top of that, she brought her kids. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 of them. 4 kids. Now it's cool that a bitch probably don't have no babysitter all the time. But bitch, if you gonna come over here with a nasty ass attitude and then you bring your little chillin' with you, bitch, y'all gonna have to come with a whole lot of respect in somebody else's domain, bitch. And like I said, it's not 10 o'clock in the morning, so what is you doing, ho? Fast forward, y'all, the baby get to crying, talking about she hungry. So she like, well, I'm gonna have to go get my kids something to eat. So I'm like, okay, well, go ahead. Mind you, I'm still not tripping on it because I understand how shit be sometimes. And you know, if you would've came yesterday, you probably wouldn't have had your kids, but bitch, we had this morning, and you need to go get your kids something to eat. Cool. Y'all, she get up and leave by the time they make it back, because I done stepped outside to smoke my little blunt and shit like that. By the time they make it back, I'm wrapping up my little session or whatever, because bitch, now we on a break at this point technically. So she saying this shit like, oh, I'm getting irritated and shit like that. And I hate when people do that, because bitch, who you trying to intimidate with your little anger? Bitch, don't make me turn up, because I get incredible hope around this bitch. The fuck? Anyway, this one have to be a part 2.
Price less than my jewelry. One of my arms were fatigued. Watch so much that a car can't